Hello everyone, what's up? So I'm not going against the Lord Mountbatten or anything with what the title is. I just want to post my opinion on what I think of wargaming switching the tech tree line, hence tech tree ships, adding tech tree lines and stuff like that. I will also show you guys some playstyle and yeah, so that's my opinion. And if you want to have any questions or whatever, just leave them in the comments below or in the live stream chat. Okay, so basically, what I think of the texture lines of its texture line changes, the texture line um, add-ons, let's say a heavy cruiser, heavy battleship, whatever, and stuff like that. So like basically what I think of the let me go to texture so I can show you guys. Um so basically what I think of the add-on texture lines like the Vermont. Obviously I don't have the Vermont, so I can't say anything about that. But I did play the Minnesota and I did play the Minnesota and that was my alarm, sorry. I did play the Minnesota and I did play the Kansas as well as the North Carolina and the Montana and all that class of battleship. So I played the new line as well, the full new line, and the half of the um, edited line here, the heavy texture line, as you guys can see. And there's differences in like if you main battery guns is so there's differences in both texture lines. So basically, I'm gonna do this into more in depth. I'm probably see Lord Mountbatten went in depth too, but it's just my opinion. So I'm just gonna show you the other way of things. So the other difference or another way that you guys can look at as well. I'm not going against them at all. I just want to like show you guys my opinion. Like, it's not my opinion. Live. What's up?
Talk to you later.
So the heavy cruiser line is basically how they set up, how Wargaming set up is main battery guns deal heavy damage, fully broadside, which is awesome. That is definitely a lot easier than playing the Colorado and not having a heavy broadsides where you have like so many cruisers on one side of the ship, and then you have cruisers and battleships even. But it helps out a lot more if you have like cruisers or a heavier broadside and the heavier guns to combat destroyers, as well as that HE fire and that burn time on some destroyers, especially if you get all your shells on a destroyer. That destroyer is pretty much gonna have issues, gun issues and torpedo tube issues and engine issues. And then once your guns reload or your secondaries can just finish it off, honestly. I mean, how much health are you talking about destroyers having at this tier? And basically, chances are you might have help, you might not. But then again, you're going to have HE fire plus that in random. But let me just switch support real quick. Because I want to black hole. I think black hole's quiet. As you can see, typing is mute the background sound, guys. Give me a second. It's ambient sound, okay. Sorry, I just had to lower my ambient sound in my port. So basically, there's a lot of hate, well, not hate, but dislike on the American line of battleships. Originally, when they came out, they were underpowered. They were, they couldn't do what we wanted them to do. So we're getting the Minnesota, I believe, and the Vermont, or the Kansas, Minnesota, and Vermont a boost in something. I forget what that was, but I think it was like Sigma. I think it was like Sigma or something. So they did fix that with this class battleship. But in terms of the what Sea Lord Mountbatten brought up with the Moskva and the way that they switched the Petropavlovsk or Petro with the Moskva and put the Moskva as coal, and then put the Moskva as coal, and then put the Petro as a tech tree ship, a new tech tree ship, and then create this other line, which is the heavy cruiser line. So you go from light cruiser to heavy cruiser, essentially. Let me see something here. Because I haven't really played this line that much, so. But if I go to high AP, so the Petro probably had, in the way Wargaming was looking at it, probably had better AP shell. Okay, so it probably had better AP, better high level of armor, probably had more armor. It was better suited for this ship specification than the other ship was, than the Moskva was. So basically, that's how they're probably doing it. In terms of how the play style is, how whatever it is, that's the way you play your ship. So basically, he probably plays the Moskva better, or he probably plays Petro worse, or vice versa. In terms of the ship play style and how the ship plays, like I said, I don't know, but basically I played the battleship line, and it really depends on how I look at it, what ship works best in that specification. Really, you could say the certain ship works better, or this ship works better, but that ship potentially works better for you. That's not going to work best for the line, or that's not going to work best for the way that the take the line, or that's not going to. If the ship doesn't perform the same way that you are basically performing it, like or the ship performs a certain way for wargaming, but you can't get that ship to perform the same way for you. That basically depends on the way your play style is. That doesn't depend on the way the play style is of the line. So if you're talking about basically what ship is better, that's and why Wargaming removed that ship, and they shouldn't have removed that ship. Well, or made that ship coal ship. It's basically two things, and that would depend on how many Russian ships does Wargaming have in the tech tree. Now, if you look in the armory, I'm sorry, if you look in the armory, let's go to the armory real quick. And let's go to the, let's see if we have any real quick. I was just checking for coal. Now, if you go to the armory and you go to ships, and you go down to, let's see, coal ship, let's see, Moskva. I don't think I don't think that is in here anymore. I think it might be. It's a coal ship, it should be. Oh, they even took it out. Okay. So it was for coal. Now it's not for coal, or I have it in my port. Um. Okay then. Well, when it was for coal, which doesn't look like it's for coal anymore. As you can tell, I'm going for all the coal ships here. Um, it doesn't look like it's for coal anymore. Besides this awesome ship, which I highly suggest getting. But let's go back to the tech tree. So basically, what I'm going to show you guys is I don't have the Colorado, so obviously I can't play the Colorado, but I'm going to play the Arizona and all the premium tech tree ships that you would have access to at tier 6. I think tier 6, tier 7, tier tier 6 and tier 7. And then I'm gonna play the Iowa class. So, and that's kind of a total difference, but in terms of the way my ships are set up and the way these ships would be set up, um, it would take a lot longer. Plus, I don't have my ships fully captained, so yeah, fully captain scaled. So it's basically gonna be off in terms of the way the ship plays and whatever. But um, in my opinion, basically what I'll show you guys is the difference between having Colorado or an Anchorage or an Atlanta, basically. So basically, having an Anchorage at tier 8 or having an Atlanta at tier 8, um, and as well as having certain ships, premium ships, non-premium ships, um, or having Colorado. I think you guys have seen my Colorado gameplay with the new Colorado camo that was on there. I did play that, I think, and show you guys that in an older video. So if you guys want to go check back that video as well, you guys sure can do that. I think that's a couple of videos back in my video line of videos. But again, I'm not going against what that guy says. Basically, just another way of looking at it, and another way of why wargaming removes ships. And in my opinion, if they were to remove ships, or also good note is that if you leave a ship like Missouri in the game, or if you leave a ship like Shikishima, and Shikishima is still in the game, but if you leave those ships in the game for a certain time, then as we know, there's obviously Missouri is a famous ship in wargaming. So um, that ship is normally never in coal, steel, whatever. And they removed the ship because, like, they removed the Alaska. There's so many Alaskas in the game, right? So they removed the Alaska, and you can't get it now because there's so many ships in the game, and they're basically trying to equal the amount of ships compared to the amount of people playing it. So if so many people are playing Alaska, then they're gonna limit the amount of that so it doesn't like then if you have a cruiser like Anchorage, you're gonna see Alaska, 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 Anchorage, Anchorage, Alaska, Alaska. So but the main thing is that Wargame is taking out the ship. It's not because the ship is too powerful or whatever. It's just because so many people are using it, and how they set the changes with the tiers and everything. Basically, Alaska was showing up a lot in games. So instead of versing an Anchorage, instead of versing a Atlanta, stuff like that, Alaska would be in every single game because every single person, or not every single person, but a good amount of people in one of the warships use that ship. So that's why they took it out of the game because then that's why they take ships out of the game. I probably wish I mean, there's tons of reasons why they take the ships out of the game, like Missouri. They had to fix. Obviously, they fixed her, but again, they can't leave her in the game because everybody wants Missouri. Missouri is a well-known ship, or a historic ship, very historic ship in terms of the USA and in terms of how people um, in terms of its history, Japan surrendered on it. So very historic ship, and people were buying it because it was at at the time insane credits. Now, with the people who bought it a long time ago, it still works fine. Like the crate is still the same. Um, in terms of the people who bought a long time ago, but the people who bought it recently from the updated from the mission that you had to do to get Missouri, um they took they fixed the credit income on there, so it's basically a normal tier 9, and I'm glad they did that honestly because it's not fair to everyone else who I mean, I'm not saying it's not fair to the people who have the ship array that they get more credits, but think of it this way. You play a ship that's tier 9, right? There's one ship in the whole entire game that Wargaming has that basically they can either put it out there and have everybody get in the whole entire game for gold, for steel, or they could put the ship out a couple times, Christmas recently, and then just have it that way. Um, and they're just it's fine. I mean, like they don't want 1,000 Iowas in the game. They don't want 1,000 Moskvas in the game. They don't want 1,000 Petropavlovsks in the game. Um, and in terms of how Missouri plays, you see when they had Missouri, people are still getting Missouri. So you see an increase in people getting Missouri, you see an increase in people playing Missouri, or any other ship. If anybody says do not get, it's your choice. Because honestly, Kansas, Vermont, Minnesota, Montana, Iowa class, Iowa, North Carolina, any of these tiers, so any of these split lines, it's another play style. So, like, for example, I play in British, okay? I was trying to complete a mission, and I had to get a certain amount of hits in the I'm in British, right? Yeah. So in the Devonshire. So I was trying to get hits or fires or something, but every single time I go broadside, the armor was horrible. Like there's no. This is supposed to be a heavy cruiser. I mean, let's see how. Honestly, I'm gonna check how much real quick. Leander has the battleship. Let's see. Let's go to armor layout. And the reason why it's black like this is because I have it on black hole. So let's go to armor layout. So you see the armor layout here. You see like there's 16 millimeters, there's 25, there's 114. So basically, you have to let the shells hit this tiny, 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 tiny armor belt here. In my opinion, this line is good for destroyers, some cruisers. I'd probably go against the same cruiser, but not any other cruisers. I mean, heavy cruisers like the Anchorage, stuff like that. This ship does not perform well at all, especially with battleships. I mean, I've had ships play better, like the Anchorage, against Battleship AP than um than ships play. Like I played better in heavy cruisers than this line, and this obviously people aren't playing this line as much anymore. Some people are, some people aren't. Um, and it could be because the line sucks. It could be because the line doesn't have enough armor as people would like in a heavy cruiser or a British heavy cruiser. But in terms of the play style, I mean, it is a different play style. It does play differently than would say a what's it, Leander, or let me see if I can go back here. Hang on, guys. There we go. So it does play differently, as you can see. If I go to the let's go to the British, and let's go to the Leander. So basically, what I mean is there's always going to be a difference behind the play style. If you play a certain ship the same way, good for you. But like I said, Minotaur is a, let's see. So this is a heavy cruiser line. So Minotaur is essentially a light cruiser, whereas the Goliath is a heavy cruiser, as you can see between the two lines here. Looks like Goliath has better guns than the Minotaur does. Minotaur has 37 artillery, and the Goliath has 87 artillery. So I'm not basing these two ships because obviously they're two different texture lines, but why would they take out Minotaur when Petropavlovsk is a good ship? Is supposedly a good ship. I never played it, and I don't have the ability to it. But it all depends on, like, let me see what he said here. Hang on, let me go back to see what he exactly said. So I don't like totally So he said one of the warships, a ship that was replaced that shouldn't have been. So obviously it's his opinion, and he does say that, or you can see that it is his opinion between what he has tested and other players. So that technically is his opinion. And I'm not hating on his opinion at all. That's his opinion. But in terms of my opinion, it pretty much it doesn't depend on how the ship plays or what ship is better for a line or what ship is better for a certain line. It depends on like how you play in that ship. So I suck at destroyers. In terms of the weakest, I've gotten one good hit where I think I destroyed. I went on one side. I was against the mountain, and there was two ships playing. There was two ships. I think they were destroyers or something, or they're light cruisers. So I hit. I sent one torpedo out one way, another torpedo another way, destroyed them both, or severely injured one, or damaged one of them, and then destroyed the other one. But I still suck at destroyers. Like I like getting into the battle and brawling with certain ships, and I love the German line. I love the American line, fast battleship line, slow battleship. I love kind of that brawling, but also that long range kind of historic um, ship, kind of Iowa class, new class kind of gun missile launch ships, Iowa, Missouri. I like those class battleships as well. Um, so I don't technically like destroyers, but I still play them. I play Sims, nice. I play Wickus, nice. Those are very easy destroyers to play for me. Germans can live or die with them. Um, Same with Japan. Japan above, I would say the Akazuki. I played very well in the Akazuki Fubuki, long distance range. Mitsuki, long distance. Izuzaki, I think I just passed it, honestly. I don't remember playing it. I haven't played it since. Um, yeah, I'm not saying the line sucks. I'm just saying pretty much it depends on your play style and it depends on. So if you see a video like that, they shouldn't have removed the uh, Petropavlovsk or Moskva from the line. Um, Still grind to that ship because you could play the ship better than the other World of Warships player can, or you can find a niche or a way of playing it, or you might like that ship. You might like the play style of that ship, whereas Sea Lord Mountbatten might not. And I'm not hating on him. I'm not saying what he says in his videos are wrong. I'm not saying to unfollow him at all. Just different opinion on what he said, and why I think the texture lines in general. I mean, I don't want anybody to be pretty much thrown off by a video that he creates or a video that I create or a video that anybody creates. They shouldn't have removed the ship. It does not mean that they that the ship sucks or that the ship does not perform well. Now, obviously, Sea Lord Mountbatten, he has or says, um, what people do generally is they create the ship, right? So let me show you basically what wargaming does here in terms of what people do. So they make the ship. So if I click on my Missouri here and go to the captain, that's my Georgia captain. So I'm not hating on Seal, like I'm against him or anything like that. Um, I'm not. It just depends on like what I think in terms of what he posted. Um, Not going against him, just my opinion on what he posted. And my opinion on the different tech tree lines and what I think. My opinion, not going against him at all. So, um, what I think in terms of the module and how World of Warships does this. So, how people create some of the lines, which is okay. I mean, it works for them, but like I said, it works for them. So, like, they can, if somebody could just okay go down this whole line, right? So, Wargaming suggests this. They suggest um for the Missouri, they suggest an AA build. Now, you could build now. Some people I can't judge for or I can't say what Sea Lord Mountbatten might do, but in terms of what Wargaming suggests, you can go down the line of this. So you can go. This is the best build for this ship, an AA build. They're suggesting an AA build. As you can see, fire prevention build here. So they're suggesting these skills. Now, you could technically, if you wanted to, get commander skills, right? And you can go down the line. You could hit this, okay, first skill. Then you could go here, here, here. Oh, where's that one? That was. So basically, anyone that Wargaming suggests, you can build your ship that way. That's fine. Or you can build your ship, okay, speed to get to an area when you're not when you're not um when other ships don't see you. So concealment when you're not when people when you're concealed from the enemy. Um, this is good to have as well on your ships. Brisk 10%. Obviously, some people might not think that is good to have on a battleship because realistically, um, but on a sword battleship, yes, pretty much depends on what you per se would. Let me just check. Would put in a ship, or would how you commander your ship. Now you can get every single one of these. Okay. Obviously, the Missouri does not have hydroacoustic, so thing. that's why this consumable is not available because the Missouri does not have hydroacoustic. Um, in battery reload booster, and it does not have a reload booster or anything like that. So this consumable wouldn't work for the Missouri, but this came from my Georgia captain, which does have hydro. So that's why that um, one was available for the um, Georgia, for the Georgia, but not the Missouri. Now you can go. Some people would do this. Okay, I want higher AP, higher HE, good secondaries, faster speed, and I don't care about anything else. Some people could do that. They can leave their command all like that, and they perform their ship like that. So they'll play their ship like that. Whereas, okay, I have high speed, high damage on my AP, high damage on my HE. So essentially, armored ships because they have higher HE damage. And if you go against a light ship, then essentially overpin it and not cause that much damage on that ship. Or you can go the secondary build, which I'm trying to do on the Missouri. Um, as you can see, I have longer secondaries, concealment. I went over concealment, but again, I could have gone ship consumable modification, but I don't think I need that. I might switch that in the future, but in terms of my build, module build, um, main battery modification one, fire, to keep the fire down. Obviously, it has a heal, so you can go with engine. You don't need the engine at all as well. You can go for surveillance radar. I think if you buy it in the armory, you can go for surveillance radar, um, which is a boost in your increases the action time, so you can have an increase of your surveillance radar. Think I think that's an option. It looks like it's an option because it purchases in the armory. You can purchase it for coal in the armory, and I could have that. Um, you could be like, okay, so you could be like me, where you can have all of the modules done. You could have boosts on here. This ship is good, right? So, but some people like playing a certain way, which is okay. And Stealing Not Bat and Not Sir and No Zoot for You like doing module builds. Where, I mean, not module builds, but they like building their ships a certain way, whereas they go full A build. So they'll add this here, they'll add the repair party reload time. Um, they'll add that to the ship. They'll add whatever they feel is good for the ship, or good for their playstyle. That's okay. I have my own playstyle, but I also like to, in my way of doing, setting up my commander skills, I would essentially do it by getting all of the, even though the ship is secondary build, watch. So I do secondary build, right? So avoid getting higher HE, avoid getting faster traverse speed. And in terms of this, watch this. So go here. You can go down to anti-submarine warfare. You can go propulsion. You can, if you want a secondary build your ship, then probably damage modification one. But if you want to, I don't necessarily like building my ships like that, just in case I have to chase down a destroyer, or in this case, chase down another ship that is on the opposite side of the map that nobody knows is there. And with the essential build like that, if how basically the playstyle is, you want this over this so you can avoid more shells. This is not going to help you by having less, by having 15% less chance of fire extinguishing time. So you're going to catch on fire, but in my opinion, it would be more easier to dodge those shells and be concealed to the enemy until you get into that area where you can deal as much damage as another ship would. So then, if you would do that, that makes sense. You could do that. That's just my opinion on that. But you could as well go for, if you want to use that main front area of your Missouri and punish the heck out of it, then go for this, because you're not going to be dodging shells. You're just going to be using that main front, so this wouldn't be any help to you. Um, so it basically depends on module build. It basically depends on what ship works for you and what ship um, plays for you well. Um, I'm also going to show you a playstyle, and I can use flags because I have the balloons and I don't want to accidentally spend the balloons. So I'm not going to use flags. As of now, that's just, I have my flags undisabled. Yes, you can, but I generally like to grind my captains. As you can see, I'm grinding my captains now. So essentially, um, and as there's a truck outside, and I don't know what it's doing. So if you guys hear that in the background, sorry about that. So yeah, probably. I mean, I could go for this too, villain secondary build, but essentially, manual secondaries, secondary battery reload time. So if I want to do that as a build, I can. I have the option to, but in terms of the way the grind is, okay, I'm gonna close my window. Okay, hang on. Sorry, that truck was annoying. That truck was really annoying. I don't know what it's doing out there because things in the way, but I can't really see what it's doing out there, but it's definitely loud. So, anyways, I can't get it anymore. So basically, yeah, it basically depends on your play style. Honestly, no ship in this game is the worst ship ever. Um, obviously, every ship can get hits. Every ship can do damage. It just depends on your play style, and how a ship plays. Now, I'm going to show you because a reason like why I like playing both lines and why I don't, not play a line or play a line. I will eventually play the heavy cruiser line and eventually find a way of doing that. But in terms of now, I'm just focusing on the ships that I have, so I can have at least one good ship. And the reason why I don't do this simple because Wargaming suggests this, and they suggest this as well. So basically, essentially, I have all these set up. So my next one on this side would be this, and then this skill, and then this skill, and then this skill, etc. Same thing with this. I'm not going to go down here just to get this skill, or I tend to build my ships that way, so I'm not like flying around the map here trying to fit. Now, if I need to, I will finish a line, or I mean, not finish a line, or I will, like at the end of this, I think if you finish 3 lines, you have access to the repair party. No, not the not the repair party. You have access to the research bureau, where you get access to the Ohio, I think, which is a heavy cruiser. Now, obviously, people would think the New Jersey would be a good ship for that because the Ohio is slow and it only goes probably 20 knots. But essentially, the New Jersey would be a better bet, and so on. So, I'm going to show you basically what I do, and how I play both lines, and then you could depend on. I'm going to play the battle. Actually, I should, because he was talking about the cruiser line, I should play the cruiser line of things and essentially show you how, difference between a cruiser line and the Atlanta and what the different play style is. So I'm definitely going to show you that. Yeah, it's like I say, it's your opinion. I could have my opinion. You guys can have your opinion. Lord Mountbatten can have his opinion on being have to switch the ship because the ship was good. Honestly, I like collecting ships, so I don't mind change. The Moskva was good, but if you already have the Moskva, then you can grind up to another heavy cruiser that you can have in your port, or a light cruiser, whatever the Moskva was. And you could have another light cruiser in your port that existed and or not existed. I don't know what the Russian line was of cruiser. I don't know how that works. Didn't do research on it. So, but you have an extra ship to set up. So, if you like playing the Moskva one way, you have another ship that you can add to your port and switch up module build, and it's tier 10, so you have another ship to get super containers with, etc. So I'm going to show you basically what the difference would be, light cruiser, heavy cruiser. So how I mentioned the Missouri and the whatever playstyle as well. Like I said, it's in Atlanta, or it's Anchorage. I'm gonna use Anchorage in Atlanta. Some people can use Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico got a lot of hate, by the way, because of the way they first created it and the way they didn't tell people that they had to basically spend their doubloons in order to complete the line. They weren't transparent about that. They didn't tell us that. So essentially, we got to so and so dockyard section. I was completing dockyard and didn't didn't know that we had to pay the balloons. So yeah, you can get Puerto Rico at the end of dockyard event or whatever. But they fixed it now, so now they tell you have to get. They're just more fluent and more in depth into what you have to do, because a lot of people didn't like that they had to pay the balloons to get a ship, a premium ship. I don't mind. It benefits the game, so I paid for an extra doubloons because I didn't want to get Anchorage. So pretty much depends on your play style. Pretty much depends on what you think. Obviously, the way I play might not be the best for you in terms of the way you play your um, destroyers or cruisers or etc. battleships, like you've seen in my videos. Actually, have you seen? I'm just gonna do it anyway because I think you've seen me play the battleships, Missouri. So you know my play style in Missouri. You know my play style in the West Virginia, and so on. I think it did the Minnesota gameplay that you could watch a long time ago. So if you want, you could watch that and see my play style with that. But in my opinion, it doesn't depend on how well this ship plays for you, and being have to remove this ship to because this ship is a perfect ship for tier 10. It gives change. It gives different play styles. If you want another heavy cruiser of the line, but you don't want to pay for a ship, well, there you go. Moskva was cool, and then now there's another ship for free XP that you can grind, or you already completed the Russian line, stuff like that. So I'm just gonna show you what my playstyle is compared to light cruiser, heavy cruiser. Um, Not with the Russian line because I'm not up tier to that yet. And these ships I'm going to show you aren't fully skilled yet, captain skilled. So it's how I play them now. I probably will play them differently once I have fully captained them. Um, and see how that works in terms of that and see how the concealment is on that. Like I said, every ship, regardless, is going to have, or like I'm going to say now, every ship, regardless, the ship play style is going to change. So by saying that, um, let me see here. Hang on, guys. By saying that the ship that was replaced that shouldn't have been. You could say, in your, I mean, just being a little bit more like, I mean, obviously, how I look at it, Wargaming had ships, right? They had premium ships, they had texture lines, but there's not that much of a line change now. It depends on what you think. Like, I like variety in my ships, and it's another ship that can perform well. So I'm not going against what I said at all. Basically, I'm just like saying my opinion on this, and it really doesn't depend on what people think of a certain ship. Like, I'll show you guys with the American line the difference in play style, but I don't think I really need to, but I'm going to show you anyway because it's fun and just to play and show you some how I play the heavy cruiser line or the light cruiser line. Obviously, I don't have a ship that is like the Alexander Nevsky. I don't have the ship or that ship or any of that ship, replace ship or whatever to show you. I could actually, although what happened was, so I could tell you this as well before let me see if I could buy this ship and show you. I think I have enough, or I had enough money to buy it, but so if you go to the USSR line and you go down, you're going down, you're going down, you're going actually going over here. There was one ship that was switched. The Karchavsky, I think it was. This ship. I think that was this it? Or was the next tier up? Hang on, guys. Let me see. No, because the next tier up is the Buyani. Or the Budon. I can't pronounce it. So, whatever ship, there's a ship that was replaced. I think it's they replaced the ship with another cruiser, made the Krab. So, whenever I'm pretty sure they replaced it with the Tier 5. So, let me see. Let me see real quick before I tell you guys. Because then I'll buy that ship and show you then. I don't have the Krov. Like I said, didn't play the Krov well. So, I mean, I didn't get it because of that reason. I don't like the USSR line. Some people do. I see some people playing that line. Challenging. But If I go here, let me see what the Quran was here. Oh, they took the Quran out? No. Oh no, there it is. Yeah. So this was a replacement. The Quran. There's a Quran. So that was a texture ship. Then you go here, and you go tech tree, and this is what we're getting replaced it with. The if I go over here, and I can load this probably a little bit. The Kachavsky. So it could be the same thing. Do you? I'm probably gonna get this ship anyways, but do you think this ship is worse or better than the Krav? I think it looks cooler than the Krav. I mean, if you go here and then you go to the armory, but it does not perform as well. I mean, look, there's a way of how every ship performs, but it depends on what you like. So if you're starting on a line, right, and you follow Sea Lord Mountbatten or you follow any of the ships, any of the ship commanders or the not sir, any of those, it pretty much depends on your opinion, and I list that I think in my videos. Let me see. I think I said that. Um, Let me see. Give me one sec. Just on that. Yeah, what I think about. So I list that in the sections. So I list it as what the sections are and what I think of the texture split. Um, what are the warships? USS Missouri review. Nobody had. I go online, right? So nobody had a review of Missouri. You can go online, right? So you can go online and you'll see USS Missouri before the crate build, before the crate build, before the crate, before they fix the crate, before they fix the crate, before they fix the crate, etc. None of them did a video, as far as I know, after the crate income build. So none of them really did a update on the Missouri after the. Now they can't probably, but none of them really did the outcome of what the Missouri is, how the Missouri plays. I played the Missouri twice, as you can see, or on my channel. Um, but really, it depends on your play style. It depends on what you think. And I don't really have to play the cruiser line. I mean, I could show you what the difference is, but what I'm actually gonna do is probably just. Oh, did this freeze on me? It's probably just show you guys probably the difference between the Karov and the once again I'm gonna get this ship and then I'm probably gonna get the Karov at some point, and then what I'll do is I'll show you that difference because it doesn't make any sense to show you a heavy cruiser and a light cruiser when both of these ships are light cruisers and they switched both ships. So that's what I'm gonna do for you guys. Obviously I don't have enough money to show you guys both ships. I do have sort of enough coal, but I'm saving up for the Corvette. So probably after that, after I get the Corvette, I will make that stream for you guys and show you guys the difference in both ships. Now, again, I'm not hating on Sailor Mountbatten or anything like that. Just my opinion. And Sailor Mountbatten has his opinion, so does not, sir. Essentially, so we all have our opinions. I per se love the US battleship line. I think there is a better play style there for people to essentially learn the Colorado line better than learning the Colorado, right? So learning New Mexico, which isn't really a big, like heavy cruiser built. I mean, heavy battleship built ship or dreadnought battleship. Yes, it is a dreadnought battleship, but it's not a heavy dreadnought battleship like the Colorado would be. Obviously, it isn't as well as the same tier, but it's not like one of those heavy built like dreadnought ships. So if you like heavy dreadnought armored battleships, Kansas, Minnesota, Vermont. If you like the fast battleships like the Missouri, then you have the option. Before they add this line, you did not have the option. Now, how this ship plays in random, pretty much how the West Virginia plays, or how the other how the how the Nagato plays, how the basically a better pin, I think, or heavier guns with the Colorado compared to the Nagato. But with the both lines split, here's the differences. You get in effective against ship types, so you get a heal. No, I'm sorry, you get a I don't know what that is actually. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is effective against all ship types. So it's effective against cruisers, battleships of all different types. You get the enhanced repair party. With this, you do not, I don't think, no. You get the advanced repair party. You get high AA builds with this, whereas this does not have high AA builds. So if you essentially, I mean, you can see the 35 compared to 35. I mean, these ships are basically the same gun, artillery. You just get more bullets out of this one than I think. Wait, no. Do you get more bullets, or is there? I think you get more bullets out of the Kansas than you do. Let me see. I'm actually going to get the Kansas again pretty soon, but yeah, you do get more bullets. There's 4 guns, so you get an extra turret on this ship than you do. Or if you want to go, because these ships were never built, essentially at this time when they were creating, or when Japan was creating lines, when people were creating lines, they basically had the choice between going faster and going slower. So essentially, these were the ships that were going to be built instead of the North Carolina, the Iowa, and the Missouri, as well as the Montana, which was never created because at the time, World War II was pretty much over. So this was pretty much the end of World War II battleship that never needed to be created because battleships at the time basically were going missile route, aircraft carrier route. There wasn't need for a big battleship like the Montana. So hence they built the Yamato, but still difference. At the time they had the Iowa if needed, that in combat D model, but um, yeah. So basically, um, you have the choice to do these two lines. So if you like sword battleships and you don't like the weak broadside. Now, if you go broadside, I mean, you've seen some of my gameplays in the Missouri broadside. Um, it causes major damage. Not as much with the Minnesota or Vermont, but it is a sword ship, so you get more HE damage and more fire damage because it's a bigger ship. I'll show you in a month. So basically, it pretty much doesn't depend on what people say or what people do. If you're running up the line, I always love making these videos for people that want to get into ships, love battleships, and want to get into this game. Because then you go with this, and what people do is, okay, this ship is better than this ship. Well, obviously, the route. Obviously, I want to go higher than um, that ship or higher than um, a ship or do the Iowa class because people say the Iowa class is the best battleship to use in the game, or the Iowa class is the best ship, or the Missouri is the best ship, or so on. It basically, my opinion, it's your play style. It's what you like. So don't go with what people say about what ships because I obviously didn't know that you can get Missouri for free XP until um, later, and I had a month, I think, or so to get her, and there was no way with the ships that I had that I could get up that high and get that ship. Obviously, I want Azuma, but Azuma isn't the best ship in terms of. I mean, isn't like the best ship in terms of what people are saying. It basically the armor's toilet paper and stuff like that, which it's really not. I'm pretty sure some players can play it well and stuff like that, and I really think people can play it well. And I think I'm honestly probably gonna get it as well. I keep forgetting about that ship because of the I don't want to grind up to 1 million and have a ship that is a premium ship that's pretty much like the Karov or like the Karov class battleship, where every side of that ship is weak. Obviously, I don't think it is. But again, it's a Japan class, and I played Tier 9 of that class before, so I don't know what the play style is. But in terms of what people are saying, the Azuma is terrible, but the Azuma looks pretty cool in my opinion. So I might as well grind up to that ship rather than not grind up to it, but also create lines and also get things done and whatever. So I think I was gonna get a thing for a Italian cruiser, but I think like a camera for an Italian cruiser. I think I'm gonna try and get the Zuma because it really doesn't. It's your game, right? So it's your port. It's what you like, and don't like the thing that I've noticed about this game. Don't um go with what people say because like you can have it. Okay, Sea Lord Mountbatten says don't get Missouri. It's not worth it, right? I play Missouri. The thing plays like an Iowa. It plays like an Iowa without. It doesn't have the enhanced tail, yeah, but it still plays like an Iowa class battleship. It's rare, so people aren't gonna have the same armor scheme, or I mean the same ship that you have. That you have another ship like in Iowa. So basically, you have another Iowa You could build it up, secondary build, AA build. That's what I'm going to do with the Iowa that I have eventually. So yeah, pretty much that's what you guys can do with that. That's how I look at it. I mean, if you like Missouri and if you want to get a ship or if you like a ship, but people say it sucks in game, just get it. I mean, what are you gonna do? Like you can get it, and if you hate it, sell it or keep it in your port. I mean, if you didn't get a chance to get Alaska, Azuma. It literally says, I think, on the class, Azuma went against Alaska, or was supposed to go against Alaska. Azuma was basically Japan's setup about going against that ship. So let me show you Azuma. Where's the Azuma here? There it is. Oh, that's not it. There's Azuma. So it says designated super powerful high speed ship destroy American designed to destroy American heavy cruisers. So your goal in game, hence, is to not go against battleships, is to not go against basically how I would play this ship. Honestly, focus on going against American heavy cruisers because that's what the armor was made for. The armor was made for going against the Vermonts. Yeah, I think you don't have torps. Yeah, you don't have torps. So you're not going to withstand battle against the Vermont. The Vermont has a heavier broadside, so you pretty much die. You're not going to go against an Iowa. Same thing. AP, shred the Zuma. So what do you go against? I mean, yeah, obviously says it right there, and it doesn't suck if you go against American heavy cruisers because that's what the ship was made for. So if you're focusing on American, yeah, okay, you can go against other ships, but maintain your distance and go against destroyers, HE fire, and then go against American heavy cruisers. Do not engage battleships with now obviously you're under HE fire. Due to the way they created the ship, you may think the armor is toilet paper, whatever. Figure out a way, figure out a play style. Because obviously, if it says the ship can go against Alaska, obviously I haven't versed it against Alaska because I don't have it. Neither do I have Alaska. But I haven't seen a change. Basically, the only reason why now if you go against ship, okay, you're playing Alaska. Everybody's like, get Alaska, it's a good ship. Get Alaska, it's a good ship. Get Alaska, whatever. Um, don't get it because you want to get it. Because you can get Alaska, right? Good AA could be sharing planes, but obviously, if you're first starting out the game, you don't have the way to get Alaska, so you're gonna buy it if you choose to, and the ship might not perform as well as you hope. So you just spent $77 in getting a ship that you can't play well because of so and so reason, because you don't like that play style, because you don't know the armor scheme. But Alaska is a full AA built ship. Now, obviously, it has better pen angles and stuff like that if you go into it. But honestly, how many of us go into these stats of every single ship we get? Now you can do whatever, better pen angles, so you could stay at that range that gives you better pen angles and stuff like that, and shred that way, you could definitely play that. Like if you go to another ship, even if you go to the tier 8s, let's see, tier 8, well, no, I'm sorry, it's tier 9. So if you go to Zhao, I mean, Ibuki, I'm sorry, Ibuki, and you go to development from the Megami class of cruiser class ships. Ibuki maintained the powerful artillery and torpedo armament of her. So, do you want to play a ship with torpedoes or without torpedoes? Um, it's like the Ishino, essentially, from what I've heard. Uh, so the Ishino basically gets torpedo as the Azuma does not. Or you can play the Ibuki. So you have 3 different tier 9s that you can choose from. Whereas with the other line, you have 2 different, and upper tier you have 3 different tier 9s because of the split. So that I think is a benefit. I don't think changing, if you have the ship array and then you have another ship that you can get, what's the difference? That's the way I look at it. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching my video. I am going to show you guys also full captain skill builds once I get them. Obviously, the Missouri is probably going to be the first one I'm going to show you. And so on. So thank you guys for watching my videos. And again, I'm not against any other person or on YouTube that creates videos like this. I just love adding my opinion into it in terms of into what people are saying and what's so on, because I don't want people to think that this ship is a good ship and then like, or this ship isn't a good ship and then not have the chance to get it, or somebody join the game to get Missouri and can't get Missouri, or join the game to get Iowa, and or so on a premium ship, Arizona, because their dad served on the Arizona and that's the reason why they have the Arizona, but the Arizona is so slow and it doesn't perform well in, tier 7 because of the option. It's against Iowa or it's against so and so ship. So don't, honestly, if you want to get a certain ship and you love that ship, get it, because you're never honestly gonna know how that ship plays. Obviously, some person could say the ship has good AP, some person could say the ship doesn't have good AP. Pretty much their opinion. So thank you guys for watching my video and or watching it somewhat. And I hope I helped you choose your ship line as well as your future ships. And yeah, I'm making videos for you guys. So thank you guys for watching and have a nice day. Let's get on this. And let's play. I think I want to get Missouri. I mean, Azuma.
Warships. So at least for the first couple hours, I'm going to see what I need to do here to complete some of our dockyard missions and such. I don't have any tier 10s left to do on this account. All I have is basically some of the ships in Rhino. But I'm fairly confident, just like everybody else, I've got missions to do too. Stephen Buckley, good morning. Happy Monday to you. And Stephen, thank you for your 30.
Nice out of the. Oh, and the. Sorry, guys, I closed the video by ending the stream. I was watching a guy on Facebook. If you want, go check him out. His name is
Quit donation to Canines for Work.
High Fire.
Thank you, Stephen. Hope you have
HY high. I think it's HYL1 high or high. Yeah, high H. So it's if you want to go check him out, he's a World of Warships streamer. He's on Facebook. His name is HYF1RE. He's live now for 24 hours. So that's what I was watching when you guys when I ended the stream or before I ended the stream. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy my content in the future because I love helping other people out that are first getting into the game as well as people who are already in the game.